Hi, Louise. Sorry about that. Sorry I didn't invite you on the Teams call. Hopefully you'll be able to watch this later. It's only a recap anyway of standard form, which hopefully you've done before. I imagine you have. I'm just going to share my screen with you so you know what's going on. And then I'll just give you a little bit of a recap. Okay, bear with me. Right, where are we? Let's get that down. Right, into OneNote. Standard form reminder. Okay, standard form. Right, so I'm going to have to rub it out, silly me. Right, so standard form reminder. Oh, sorry, no, did it somewhere else. I did it as a PowerPoint. Here we go. Okay, right, so just as a reminder, standard form is something that we do for large numbers or very small numbers, and it's a way of writing very large or very small numbers in a way that just makes them more convenient to use, really. Okay, so standard form, you should have seen before, when we write a number in standard form, we write it as a number between 1 and 10, so that's written down here on the screen as A, multiplied by 10 to the power something. Okay, the power on the right could be any whole number, could be positive or negative. Okay, so why do we write numbers in standard form? Okay, well, have a look at these two numbers on the screen. Okay, if you look at the 2, 3, 4 with loads of zeros and the other 2, 3, 4 with loads of zeros, it's quite hard to tell which of those two numbers is the bigger one just at a glance. Whereas if you write those two numbers in standard form, so 2.34 times 10 to the power 14, 2.34 times 10 to the 13, then it's fairly obvious that the one on the left is bigger. So it's very easy to see with standard form numbers which one is bigger, okay, just by comparing the powers. Okay, so on the next screen here, we've got some numbers which we're going to put in ascending order. So we're going to look at these numbers and we're going to work out which one's the smallest and then work our way up to the biggest. Okay, so if we want to see which one's the smallest, first of all, actually, let me just make this into a slideshow because it's more fun. Okay. Hopefully it'll become a slideshow. Here we go. Right, if you want to see which one's the smallest out of all these numbers, first of all, check out the powers. Okay, so there are two numbers here, which are times 10 to the power 7. So those are going to be the two smaller of the numbers. And if the powers are the same, then you look at the number in front. So the smallest one here is going to be 3 times 10 to the power 7. So let's move that one across. That's the smallest. And the next biggest then is going to be 4 times 10 to the power 7. Okay, now comparing the other two, we've got one of them's times 10 to the power 8, one of them's times 10 to the power 9. So the next biggest is going to be 2 times 10 to the power 8. And the biggest one of all is going to be 3 times 10 to the power 9. Okay, so that should be fairly straightforward for you. Okay, a couple of examples to have a look at. We have loads of countries, and the question says, and we're given the population of each of those countries, which country has the smallest population? Again, look at the powers first, and if we look at the powers, Ethiopia is the only one which has a power of 7, which is the smallest power. So Ethiopia must be the country with the smallest population. If we look at the largest population, we're looking at the highest power, which is 10 to the power 9. So China and India are both times 10 to the power 9. But China then wins because it's got the higher initial number. So 1.4 times 10 to the 9. Largest population then is China. Okay. Question 2 is just asking you to look at numbers which might not be in standard form. If we look at the first one, 0.8 times 10 to the power 5, it's not in standard form because 0.8 is not between 1 and 10. And the same is true for 82 times 10 to the power 6. 82 is too big. That first number should be between 1 and 10. The next one, we've got 1.1. Good. That's a number between 1 and 10 times 10 to the power 3. That one is in standard form. 3 times 9 to the power 4 is not standard form because standard form, the power must be a power of 10. And 3 times 9 to the power 4 is a power of 9. So the only one which is standard form is 1.1 times 10 to the power 3. Okay, hopefully you could see that. How do we write a number in standard form? Well, first of all, we look at the digits of the number. So if you look at 4,000, ignore all the zeros. This starting number must be 4. Okay, we then, let me see if I can use my pen on here. We then look at where the decimal point is in 4, which is between the 4 and the first 0. Look at where the decimal point really is in 4,000. Well, that's after. And then you jump from where you've put the decimal point to where the decimal point really is. And you can see that there are 3 jumps of the decimal point. So we have 1, if you like, 2, 3. So this number here, 4,000, is 4 times 10 to the power 3. Okay, so if you like, there's a little animation of it. Okay, can you see on the right, if I just click that again? Oh, hang on, go back. Okay, let's just get them to do that again. Okay, so can you see there's the decimal point where you've put it. There's the decimal point really at the end of the 4,000, 3 jumps to the left. Okay, so if we look at this one, 3,800,000 in standard form. Okay, if you could just pause here and have a think what that could be. Maybe write that down on a piece of paper. Okay, so hopefully you have written down 3.8 times 10 to the power 6. So the decimal point in 3.8 is there between the 3 and the 8. So we'll just do it as a blob there. The decimal point really in 3,800,000 is there. And you can see the little arrows showing that there are 6 jumps then between 3.8 and 3,800,000. So that in standard form is 3 times 10 to the 3.8, sorry, times 10 to the power 6. Okay, right. So couple for you to try. So pause the video here, write those 2 in standard form. Okay, welcome back. For the first one, you should have 7 times 10 to the power 5. And for this next one, you should have 2.678 times 10 to the power 8. Okay, if you've got those right, you are fine to carry on. Okay, if we have small numbers, so numbers which are less than 10, what you need to, so numbers, sorry, which are less than 1, you need to remember that the power is going to be negative. Okay, the idea is exactly the same. You've got 0.002, so the number in front is just going to be 2. You've got to then think, where is the decimal point in 2? Well, it's after the 2. Where's the decimal point really in this number? Well, it's obviously where it is. And so to change into standard form, there's a little animation here. There are 3 jumps of the decimal point, but we write 2 times 10 to the power -3. Okay, and you can see there that there are 3 jumps here, 1, 2, 3, from decimal point to decimal point. So we write that number as 2 times 10 to the power -3. Okay, if we look at the next one here, well, the digits in front are going to be 7.23. So you're putting the decimal point there. How many jumps of the decimal point is it? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so in standard form, that should be 7.23 times 10 to the power -6. Okay, so if you don't remember, it doesn't matter about which way you go. Just remember, if you've got a small number, the power will always be negative. Okay, so a few for you to try here. Okay, so again, pause the video, have a go at doing these ones, and then I will give you the answers to these. Okay, so we did these together as a class. Okay, welcome back. So you should have, for the first one, 5 times 10 to the power 2. Second one, 7 times 10 to the power -2. Third, 4.7 times 10 to the power 3. 7.5 times 10 to the power 4. 2.8 times 10 to the -5. 1.8 times 10 to the 8. And 9.9 times 10 to the power -8. Hopefully you've got all of those correct. Okay, and you're now going to do this exercise. Now you will find this exercise, where are we? If I just take you into your OneNote, that's probably the easiest way for you to find it. If you go into OneNote, okay, so where are you, Louise? Okay, so new section, which is called standard form. Here we have standard form questions. Now, I only want you to do exercise 1. Okay, so that's changing normal numbers to standard form, and then it's changing, oh yeah, we only did questions 1, 2, and 3. If you only do questions 1, 2, and 3, that's fine. Some people did, so everybody did question 1, question 2, and question 3. Some people did 5 and 6 and 7, but they are quite difficult. They're kind of extension questions. If you can just do 1, 2, and 3, that should be fine, which is basically writing numbers in standard form. Next time we'll look at standard form going back to normal numbers. What I will do now is I will share the answers with you so that you can check your own, because I read out the answers, but obviously you're not there. So here are, oops, sorry, that's Alice's. Where's mine? Okay, here we go. Answers to the standard form questions. Here they are with some working as well. So I will copy those and put them into your OneNote so you've got them. Okay, here we go. Standard form. Okay, so if you just do 1, 2, and 3, here are the answers so you can check your answers. Okay, but basically that's it. Okay, I'm not going to give you any prep today because it's an EXIAT weekend. Okay, so I hope you feel better soon, Louise. Or a shame, because I'm hoping you're not going to feel ill for the EXIAT weekend. Yeah, that should be it. Just drop me an email if you're not sure what you're doing or you haven't done standard form before. Drop me an email, and I could set you a couple of Hegarty maths tasks that you could do to just drum it into you a little bit further. Okay, but yeah, that should be fine. Okay, I'm going to now leave Teams and hang on, let me go just back to Teams. Where are we? Here we go. Right, back to the call screen. And I'm going to stop recording. Stop sharing my screen. Thank you. Stop recording.